How you doing, guys? So we're gonna talk a little bit about all these YouTube channels that are created for disabled kids, like OCD and all these autistic kids and all other disabilities. Now, I'm gonna prove you in this video that parents are the one who actually develop those disabilities in all these kids. So it's not a genes, it's not a something that they're born with, because as you can see that 99% of the kids, you can ask any doctor in the world when they're born, first let's say 6 months, they cannot be any visual disabilities like OCD or all this autism or anything else. Now when they start to grow and parents start to develop it in those kids, and I'm gonna explain you exactly what they do. I'm gonna prove you actually vector psychology. I'm the one who's representing the vector psychology. Is gonna prove it to you that all these kids have something all in common. Let's say 50 OCD kids and we take 50 autistic kids. They all have something in common. All their personalities very similar, and it cannot be that all the same kids are born with this disability, or like people say genes, because they're all different random families in the world. But for example, if you take 50 OCD kids, they're gonna be all of them, they're gonna be most honest people and most obedient. Like they're gonna do everything, especially for their mama, for their parents. Now, if her parents starting to give them those frustration, I'm gonna explain you what exactly that means. Then they all become stubborn. They all kind of don't want to do those things. They don't want to go to school in the morning. They don't want to become stubborn. Now, they all have issues. All of them, if they go through these frustrations, they're gonna have issues when they go to the restroom. They have those constipations or diarrheas. All the anal vector kids. I'm talking about like OCDs and stuff. And they all as far as the autistic kids, they also have something in common. If we take 50 autistic kids, even sometimes when it's really bad developed, it can become even schizophrenia, like those kids, that what people do to them. And all these kids have the best hearing. You can check 50, 100 kids who has those autistic issues. They all have the same issues, so it cannot be genes. That those kids, they have best hearing. If you bring them to music school, and you can check with doctors, you can check with anyone, they have all this in common. Now they're very intelligent people. By the way, I know vector person, it's also kind of slow people. They cannot do the several things at the same time. Now, as far as audio vector person, those autistic people, they're very introverted, they're very intelligent. They're all trying to figure out some things that are like existence and stuff like that very early, and they all have issues to sleep at night, all of them. Because they audio vector person, if you check my vector psychology video, you will see that you're gonna see I'm explain it very deeply over there, so you can check my video. Now, how parents do that to them. Now, every child, when we're born, the main main instinct that we need from our parents is safety and security, and especially mothers gives it to us, that safety and security. Now, how we start liking it, and another thing, I mean, obviously safety and security you liking when your parents screaming at you, when they don't respect your like personal stuff, like you want to have your own personal things, and they trying to kind of control it. But the main thing what they do, it's especially when it's dermal mother, she puts limits in those children very aggressively. Like, what kind of limits? Like, you take them to the park, those kids, and she does things like, no, don't go there, no, don't sit over there, no, don't run too much, no, sit down. All these no. Check also in one of my videos, I explain it exactly what happened to the child when experience it. No, even adults, they don't like those rejection, because in 2 words I'm gonna explain it. In ancient time, when we had a shortage of food, and in the tribe, if somebody grabs the food, and dermal vector, the one who was actually protecting it, so we're not gonna run out of our resources, he was telling, no, don't touch it, and if you touch the food, they expelling you out of the tribe, they throw you out of the tribe, and you go by yourself, you're gonna die in the nature, you're not gonna able to survive back in the times. So all these no. Now when another thing, when parents cursing and their kids, and autistic people, those audio vector people, they take every word and they trying to figure out the meaning of those words, they're trying to really think about them, and they take it very personally, and you can really damage their psychologically. Now, when you scream at them, and you scream too much, probably that's what actually. Now, if you scream and you curse an audio vector child, the anal vector, when you develop the OCD, what you do, you always ration him. That kid is very slow and needs to do things slow. You ration him of the restroom, which is very, he has already issues when he goes in there, and you ration him. Now you ration him, you always interrupting him, you always screaming at them. So basically, if you take, as I say, 100 of those kids, you can see that they all have in common personality. It's all adopted from their parents. So I think all these YouTube channels should be banned, and all these parents should be. I would imprison all these parents, because they probably already figured out what happened, and they trying to kind of even develop it worse, as I see in those videos, and it really becomes something that should be stopped. Now, I'm gonna get another video, and I'm gonna explain it really deep, and comment, or you can email me if you want to get some more information about all that, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.